Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentle jammers, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, and today we're checking out Knife Game. It's a short little indie game available up on Game Jolt, made by John of Fart Art, where our job is to try and throw knives at a wooden board, to try and embed all of them successfully without hitting them into each other, and having to restart all the way back at level 1. And it sounds pretty simple, because you can spam click and throw a whole bunch of knives into the board really quickly, but then once the board starts to revolve and wiggle wobble into multiple different directions, then it starts to become a little bit tricky, and you're actually going to have to use a combination of trial and patience, especially when you start to get additional knives that are already embedded into the board, because we're a trick knife thrower. We're a fancy lad when it comes to sharpened steel and knife blades, and we want to impress all the ladies down at the local fair. And the only way we can do that is with fancy knife work. And I think this isn't a terrible idea for a game. This would definitely be something I could see as more of a mobile game, because it only requires clicking once anywhere on the screen. And you can also unlock, by gaining money in the game, different knife skins for when you're throwing stuff. So does that mean I have a butter knife? It does! Well, not really a butter knife, but a butterfly knife, a switchblade. And that kind of reminds me a lot of the Crossy Roads style genre of game, where really what you're doing to keep playing through the game is you're trying to unlock additional skins to make your character feel more and more unique, because the terrain and the objective of trying to get further and further each time is not exactly the most crazy exciting thing on the planet. I will say that this game feels a little bit sparse, although it is a free-to-play game up on Game Jolt right now. But I feel like this could involve some things that you would traditionally think about when you envision knife throwing. Like what I was talking about the magicians earlier. Something that I associate with knife throwing are mini games where you have like a magician's assistant up on the board, man or woman, and you've got some targets that you have to click and drag and throw the knives at in order to pop them and try not to, you know, hit the musician's assistant, because you might hack off a finger or a limb or a toe or something, which is usually considered bad, depending on what company you keep in the world. I don't know, some type of target other than just embedding knives in the wood and not hitting other knives might be interesting as you go along. Like, say, one level you have to both get all the knives in there, but you also have to pop balloons. But you gotta be careful, because some of the balloons might have like a rock or something under them that you can't puncture, which might mess you up and cause you to have to go back. So you'd have to do like a split-second decision-making sort of thing, otherwise you would be proper boned. There's a lot of options here, especially when your interface is literally one click, so that makes everything more of a manner of timing as opposed to skill-based, I suppose. Although, depending on who you are, trying to be patient can be a challenge unto itself. I would definitely agree with that sort of a statement. Trying to think, what else could you do in a game like this? I would definitely say I could see you doing something like having it so you have little things between you and the board that you have to pay attention to. So you have to time both the knives that you've already embedded in the wooden plank and also some platforms that are essentially getting in your way to try and stop you. Maybe you enter like a crazy magical dimension where you're throwing knives at a Medusa head to make her go back to Narnia and not murder all the people that you so love. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of different options for what you could do here, and I'd be interested to see. That said, I mean, it's pretty simple and straightforward. Throw knives at the board, try not to mess it up, earn in-game currency to unlock additional knives, and you're good to go. So this has been a brief look at Knife Game made by John of Fart Art. I'm your pal Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.